Hey guys, so this video I want to talk about Nautika's kit and should you pull for her. So first of all, let us look at the first two insight. I will talk about insight 3 later because it's associated with her skill 2. So first of all, insight 1, after acting gain 1 stack of warm. What is warm? I will explain it later as well. But here the main thing is that she is a Bloodtithe unit, so when everyone loses HP, any allies, then the party will gain Bloodtithe. And Bloodtithe, there will be a special icon at the bottom right of the screen, and you can click on it. So if you click on it, you will use up all the Bloodtithe and recover HP. So for Nautika's case, don't ever click that button because you want Nautika to use that Bloodtithe to do damage, not you clicking it to kill the party. Don't do that. Okay, so for Nautika's case, when she enters battle, she instantly loses 50% of the HP because this will give a boost to the Bloodtithe and maximum Bloodtithe plus 8. Okay, Bloodtithe max is always dependent on the party's max HP. So if everyone have high max HP, then Bloodtithe max stacks will be higher. So next, let's look at her ultimate. Self-channel, enter living sacrifice for 1 round, and it does not count toward incantation. And she doesn't have Moxie. Okay, Nautika doesn't have Moxie, it turned into Faith. And each time Bloodtithe is accumulated, gain 1 Faith. If she has 8 Faith, then her ultimate become available. And I can tell you most of the time, even if it's already there, but if your Bloodtithe is low, you won't be using her ultimate. So getting to her ultimate is not a concern at all. The main concern is still how fast you can charge Bloodtithe. So at the end of the round, like you use her ultimate, she enter channel, and then after that, at the end of the round, something will happen. So she will consume all Bloodtithe, and for every 8 point of Bloodtithe consumed, gain 3 point of living sacrifice. And the max stacks of living sacrifice is 24. And if living sacrifice has at least 3 points, cast a million scar, otherwise cast a million spring. And I'm not going to talk about a million spring because 3 stacks of 3 points of living sacrifice, that's easy to obtain, so you probably will not be triggering a million spring. Okay, so for your information, max Bloodtithe for maximum living sacrifice, we actually need 64 Bloodtithe. But let's say if you have higher max Bloodtithe and let's say you charge it up all the way to, let's say, 80 Bloodtithe, even if the description say is consume all Bloodtithe, but it will only consume 64 max, unless you have higher Portray. As for a million scar, it is a mass attack, but not really mass attack. So what happened is that, let's say if you get to 64 Bloodtithe, then when you use the ultimate, you get 24 points of living sacrifice. So now there will be another toggle at the right bottom of the screen where you can click. Each time you click, Nautika will attack one enemy 100% relative damage. So if you have 24 living sacrifice, you can click it 24 times. So if each time is 100% relative damage, then this is 2400% living relative damage. And at the end of it, it will then do a mass attack. Now this mass attack won't be random to one target only, it will be to all the enemies. Okay, and after that she will heal herself. Her ultimate, although she attacks a lot of time, is just considered as one action. Okay, so unlike Ezio's, where he also does multiple time, but that is not one action. For Nautika, the entire thing is considered as one action. So overall, at max stacks, living sacrifice means the ultimate, Nautika's ultimate, deals total of 2500% relative damage. But we shouldn't compare directly this number with other characters because other characters' damage is skill based on attack. For Nautika, it's skill based on HP. And most unit attack is only about 2000. However, Nautika's HP, if you use her Psychube as well, it can go up as high as 27,000 or even more. So if we consider 25% of that, it's already 6,750. So it's like, it's way better than other units, right? Attack, other units is about 2,000, but Nautika is scaling off, and then she's getting like 6,000 worth of attack, okay? And for the final attack, when you're using the ultimate A Million Scar, it says you will do 100% resi damage to all enemies, but this is based on 50% of HP. So in that case, it's 13,500. Okay, so this is why Nautika is hitting so hard. So, as previously mentioned, how to gain Bloodtithe faster. There are 3 ways, of course. Using her skill and follow-up attack will drain HP, or you rely on other teammates that also have HP drain mechanics, like Eternity, Samawise, Medicine Pocket, so you can bring them in as well. Or you just simply rely on the enemy attacking the party. The more attack they do, the higher damage they dealt, will all charge Bloodtithe faster. But that is also a more risky gameplay, because you might accidentally be at too low HP and get killed by the enemy. Although Nautika can revive, but other teammate can't, and we wouldn't want to rely on that, because every time she revives, she consumes Bloodtithe, and we want the Bloodtithe for her ultimate. Okay, moving on to her skill. So mass attack loses current HP 20% and deal 100% relative damage to 2 enemies and 100% relative damage using own max HP times 10% instead of attack, and gain 4 stack of warm. So you will see mostly when Nautika attack, there will be a yellow number. So this is due to the plus 100% relative damage using own HP. Okay. Anyway, this skill is best used, and you should, if your HP is like pretty high, you should be spamming her skill in order to deplete her HP faster. And skill 1 is one of the better one in order to bring her HP lower, so she can take advantage of Samawise buff and array where you do more damage when you are at lower HP. Her S2 is pretty special. You can choose between Weave in the Light and Dedicated to the Beast. So technically she has 3 skills. So the first one is an attack. It's a 1 target attack. All allies loses HP. Okay? And grant adversity to all allies for 3 rounds. Then deal damage. Deal number of enemies times 50% relative damage using own max HP times 10% instead of attack. Adversity, on the other hand, make the entire team more defensive because it has damage taken down. So this skill is best used at the early stage when you want to charge Bloodtithe quickly because it drains everyone's HP. And for the second one, self counter, it entered Mother Earth protection for 3 rounds. So after it entered Mother Earth protection for 3 rounds, if you are still using this incantation, just use the first one, right? Until Weave in the Light self counter expires, then you recast it back. So this is the buff that's associated with skill 2. Adversity 1, which is damage taken reduction, damage dealt plus 10%. And for every 10% missing HP, damage taken reduction, and damage dealt plus 2.5% and up to 20%. Okay, for Mother Earth protection, since it is a counter, after being attacked, gain 1 stack of warm. So warm increases healing taken. Obviously, the higher, then more healing that she can get, and more HP she can further deplete later on to charge Bloodtithe. So warm is a special buff, max HP plus 2% and can stack up to 15%. Okay, now back to her Insight 3. So now we know what is Mother Earth protection, and Mother Earth protection put her in a counter status, but what is she countering with? So she countered with Mother Earth small, but if you look on the right side, it's written as Mouth of the Mother, which loses 20% of your current HP and deal 150% relative damage with an additional 100% bonus damage using 15% of Nautika's max HP as attack. So this is counted as a follow-up attack, which is why it works with Flutter Page. Not only that, she also have reanimation. So basically, if she dies, she doesn't die and she heal back up. And you can do it once per round. If she get killed twice in a round, then unfortunately the game is over. So overall, her rotation, I don't really have one like round 1, what you do, round 2, what you do, because Bloodtithe charges very differently based on the teammate that you bring with Nautika. But anyway, here I will recommend Nautika to first use S2 counter, so that will put you in the counter status for 3 rounds. And yeah, so that is additional damage, so don't forget to activate it. And wait, so after that, wait until it is charged up, as in Bloodtithe is charged up, and depending on your desired damage output, because I know some people when it hit 30 or 40 it will already unleash the ultimate, so definitely not using Bloodtithe when not using Nautika's ultimate when Bloodtithe is fully charged up for her will have some damage loss. But again, sometimes you overkill the enemy anyway, so sometimes you got like 30-40 stack, you already can attack with Nautika. So after using her counter, just wait until Bloodtithe is charged up. Once you get to 64 Bloodtithe, then use the ultimate. And for S2 counter, you want to use it every 3 rounds. But in between, you still can use it, but you don't use the counter version. You use the attack version. Okay? So that's why here there's no fixed rotation. It really depends on how fast you can charge Bloodtithe. Next is our Psychube. Definitely use her own signature Psychube. She's skilled based on HP. You want as much HP as possible. So this Psychube is tailored to with HP and will be beneficial for her. Okay? So for her teammate, at the moment, this is her teammate. Nautika, Samawise, Eternity, E1, not E2, E1, and Ezra. So these are temporarily team, as Eternity E1 will be replaced by Sentinel, and later Ezra will be replaced by Robuska. So, but temporarily you can rely on this team, or alternatively you can replace Ezra with Medicine Pocket. But the problem with Medicine Pocket is that it is only good for the first cycle because everyone's HP is high, so you can deplete HP rather quickly. But after the first cycle, most of the time your character HP will be half and the other half will be shield, because that's what Medicine Pocket provides. So shield is not a very good option for Nautika's team, because when enemy attack, they will not be able to generate Bloodtithe, as shield is not counted toward your HP. So only use Medicine Pocket if you know that you can win the fight in just maybe in one full cycle, charge up to 64 Bloodtithe, and then Nautika ultimate and the fight ends. In that case, bring Medicine Pocket. But if you like need to do her ultimate several times, I would suggest Ezra as the healer. So for Ezra case, if you are worried that you don't have him or you can't get him, he will be available in the treble counter shop where you can exchange it for 240 treble. Even if you don't have it now, I think by the time you pull on Nautika, you'll be pulling quite a lot of times. So you might be able to get up to 240 of that currency. Okay, another strong team here is actually follow-up attack team, because Nautika does follow-up attack, Samawise does follow-up attack, so they work very well with Flutter Page and Fatutu as well. So the advantage here is Flutter Page giving +1 AP, which means you can use more of Nautika's attack in order to drain more HP. As for Fatutu, she is good in the team because she can easily heal the party back to almost full health, so that when you use any skill like 20% of current HP, 10% current HP, you will end up draining more HP. So which means your Bloodtithe will charge even faster. So the main question here, should you pull or not? Well, if there are no other HP depleting unit like the Bloodtithe party, and you are not planning to pull like for Sentinel or Robuska, then there's no need to get her. Okay, I believe you should have enough theme to go by most of the stages. But yeah, without this unit, you will find it a bit difficult to use her. But since she's limited, you can always try to get one copy and then just keep it first until you get the other Bloodtithe unit like Sentinel and Robuska. Then you can then form the team. But if you insist and you want to use it now, as in right when it is released, but you don't have all the other Bloodtithe unit, then I would say pull on the Euphoria banner for Samwise. At least have Samwise and Nautika, and the charging speed will be not the best, but decent. Okay? Or to simply put it, at least have 2 HP depleting unit. But if you bring in Flutterpage and Fatutu, so both of them are not HP draining units. So the second one, I would really recommend it to be like Samwise. So here are also some of the things that you want to consider in terms of pro and cons. So pro, team damage output is the highest so far. Okay, if you want to have the most meta team, go for Nautica. So their HP is always low, and that can be rather scary, but they too have damage taken reduction and revive mechanics. So they are not likely to die even if their HP is always low. So I do see that the revival mechanics is actually an advantage. Yeah, so that would be the pro for Nautika's team. As for cons, as highlighted, potential reduced significantly without her teammates. And also in fight where there are many phases, she most likely wastes damage by overkilling the enemies. Okay, so that is a concern as well, because she need like 3 to 4 rounds to charge up, and then you kept using in between. It's going to be hard for Nautika to actually charge up Bloodtithe in order for her to do the most damage. Living Sacrifice is random, so if you have like several enemies and you use the ultimate, the damage might end up being distributed to other enemies as well. Okay, so that would be a problem. Okay, so I hope this video helped you out on if you should pull for Nautika. I know a lot of you are still wondering if you should or not because of all the good units that came out in last patch and will be coming in the next patch. You really don't have sufficient pools. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. Good luck with Nautika in a few days' times, and have fun.